Hello and welcome to another electric drum kit setup video here at Rhythm Room Music School. Today I've got one of the brand new Roland TD-02K kits. I'm going to be setting this up for you now. Everything that you need is going to be in the box, apart from one thing. I've got my trusty butter knife here just to get the boxes open. Let's get to it. First of all, you want to open this box to get the legs and the frame out. Once you've got everything out of your bags, you're going to want to put the poles in front of you like this. So the legs with the single connector, you put one on the furthest most left and then on the furthest most right. And then we've got the central pole, which is going to have the 3 connection points on that. That's going to be right in front of you. And then this one with the 2 connection points, this is the pole that connects those 2 supporting legs, and the one with the 1 connection point is the one that connects these. If you're setting this up as a left-handed drummer, you're going to want to swap these around. In the box that you got the legs out of will be a little bag that looks like this, and in there is your drum key, which you'll use in order to adjust all of the pole legs and the connection points. So I'm going to get that out now. So I've got my drum key out. Now what we're going to use this for is loosening this connection point up here in order to fit the connecting pole in. So on the left hand side, as you're facing your kit, you're going to want to put in the pole with the 2 connection points into that left leg. So you want to do it with the connection point, the smaller connection point that's closer to the left leg, and the larger one will be towards that central pole. Okay, I'm going to put that in now. On your central pole, this connection arm goes into the connection point that is the lowest one. So I'm going to be putting it in there. I might need to raise these up or lower this down in order for it to be nice and balanced. So I'll probably lower it down over here. Okay, with that done, time to do the same but with the right hand side. So this is what the frame should look like set up in front of you. You can see here that I've got the pole with the 2 connection points on my left hand side and the pole with just the one on my right hand side, with the right hand side one being plugged into the middle connection point that's there, and the left pole being into the lower connection point that's there. Now we're going to put in these curved guys here, right? So what we want to be doing is, so I'm going to be loosening that off, and we're going to be leveling it out like that. And the same for over here, already done. So what you want to do is in the curved pole, the longer side on your left hand side is what goes in there, and on the right hand side here, the shorter end of the pole goes in on that right hand side. Right, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, so this top connection point, we're going to loosen that off, and we want to make sure that it's facing us, right? It's facing you. So where we put the pole in is on your side of the leg. In the stand box will be this pole, and it's this pole that goes up into here, and this is where we attach 2 of our tom pads to. Don't forget to tighten it up. Next, get all of your drum pads out of their packaging. We're going to grab 2 of them, doesn't matter which 2, and we're going to put one on this side and the other on this side. You might need to use the drum key to loosen it off in order to do so. You want to put the pads about halfway. So there's another small bag in the box where all of the stands came in, and in there you've got a couple of holders for the cymbal stands. So we attach that by putting both of them on either end of this pole that's at the top. When you attach these, you want to make sure that they're laid out like this. So you have the connection point facing you, this bolt pointing out to the left, and the same here, where you've got this bolt pointing out to the right. But you're going to have one bolt pointing up at the sky and one bolt poking down at the floor, and so that's how we're going to put them on up here like that. Right, so one's going to go there and the other one's going to go over there. So we're going to tighten that there so that it's level, and the same for over here. And the reasoning for putting the bolts facing outwards becomes apparent now, because we're going to put those symbol poles in either of these, and we need to be able to access those bolts from the side. Okay, so we're putting the symbol poles in now. You want to make sure that they are facing you, so that there is where that little bit, that bend is, that's facing where you're going to be sitting. You can tell which one's the hi-hat pole because it's perfectly straight. And what we want to do is we want to put that in down over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hi-hat pole on the side away from you, on the other side away from you, like this, right? Okay, so I'm going to put the last two drum pads on now, on these last two bent poles that are here. Okay, drum pads are on now. We've just got to get the cymbal pads on. Now, I've got 3 of them down here. They're all the same, so it doesn't matter which one you put on which stand. You're going to find that the cymbal will fit comfortably on the hi-hat stand. There's like a little mount, there's a little groove on your pad that will fit nicely on top of it. Depending on how you put the hi-hat stand in, you might find it facing in another direction. But you want to make sure that the black part on that pad is facing you, that you can read the Roland logo, that it is leaning towards you. So you might need to swivel it around in order for that to happen, but there you go, that's ready for me. There's nothing that goes on top of these cymbal pads on these particular stands. You just need to give them a little bit of force to pop them down onto the stands like that. So that's ready, they're all good like that. In the box that has the module and the cables, on the underside of those cables is a little mount for the module. So we're going to get that out of there and plonk it on top of there, right on top of our central pole. I'm right-handed, so I'll make sure the bolt is on the right-hand side, so it's then nice and easy for me to get the key onto there, get it on, and get it tightened up. Next, let's get the module out and plonk it on top. This bit can be a bit of a faff. You do need to give a little bit of force in order to push that in to get it to hold. Right, next I'm going to get the cable loom out of the bag. Before I start plugging the cables in, I'm just going to get the pedals out and ready to go. So this is what your cables are going to look like. Now, they are all clearly labelled as to where they need to go. So what we've got here, it's crash. Yeah, that's going to be the crash symbol for CR and RD for ride. But yeah, basically just taking you through everything. So we've got the hi-hat, that'll be HH. This is the hi-hat control, so HHC. Snare, I think so, either SN probably, maybe SR, something like that. And then you've got Tom 1, T1, T2, T3, and that's going to be the crash, CR, and that's going to be the ride, the RD. Oh, and we've also got a pedal here, or the kick. But once you've plugged everything in, that one should be pretty evident which one it's supposed to be. Oh, there are also cable ties that come with it as well. So I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to use them, but yeah, that will obviously help keep everything tidy. So first off, we need to plug this in, and you're going to need to plug it in what seems like it would be upside down. Okay, with that tightened up, I can plug everything in now. Let's start with the shorter of the 2 cables. So what have we got here? We've got T1, which is going to be there, and I'm going to guess that is T2. Yep, absolutely, and so that's going to go up here. The input's on the underside, on the left-hand side of these pads. Okay, RD next, that's ride, and that's on the underside, on the right-hand side. That's where that input is. Okay, SNR for snare, CR1, so that's our crash, HH, so that's hi-hat. Okay, so the black label, the one with KIK on it, that's going to be our kick. The input for the pedals are on the underside. This is hi-hat control, so it's the same idea. Okay, last but not least, Tom 3. Now there is another cable that's provided. This one will have CR2 written on it, Crash 2, right? So this is a cable if you buy if you buy an expansion pack for the kit. So sometimes you will be able to provide another symbol or another pad or something like that, and then you'd use this to plug into it. You'll notice that it's covered, and it can remain covered unless you have that expansion, but you can kind of tuck it out the way and keep it out the way for now. Cables are annoying me, so they're going to go into the cable tie. One more thing now, we've just got to get the power supply out and ready. Power supply goes into the side of the drum kit brain down here. Okay, so with it set up, it should look something like this. So you want to make sure that the pads are tilted slightly towards you, but not at a massive extreme angle. You don't want to be stabbing the heads as you're playing them. You want to be playing across them like that. Same goes for your cymbal pads. A slight angle towards you is absolutely fine, but you don't want anything too extreme. So that's all looking pretty good and ready to play. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video useful. I'm going to be doing a lot more setup videos and reviews and comparisons of these Roland electric drum kits. So don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date with all of those new things. If you have any thoughts or questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.